this is Brittany Hopper. This is my theory competency number 1 for Com Theory 3301 with Dr. Lestrade. And we are going to do this over expectancy violation theory, which is found in our book. So the core ideas of this theory are going to be, one, it was founded and developed in 1978 by Judy K. Burgoyne, who is a professor who is still teaching today, which is kind of different compared to some of our other theories that we've studied. It's widely based on our uncertainty reduction theory and Edward T. Hall's works on proxemics, which is basically the distance between you and I and how we interact in communication. Expectancy violation theory puts emphasis on each person's individual perception of the interaction within a particular situation. People, while communicating, will create an expectation of how each other will react to that. So basically, when you're talking with someone else, if you do something different or out of the ordinary, that is going to violate what they expect of you. So this violation, or a violation to this expectation, can cause a perception that will be either positive or negative. People behave differently according to the cultural values they grow up in, how they were raised, location, and all of these things influence the reactions of different people quite a bit. So another thing, expectancy violation theory is also dependent on personal space. So this is talking about Dr. Hall's proxemics. The personal space is a boundary that we keep and freedom that is given to people whom we are close with. Particular personal space is expected from the people who we interact with according to the relationship that they have with them. The theory explains that people tend to protect the personal space when they experience a violation in their expected behavior. So if you cause a violation to me, I'm going to be more protective of my space. I'm not going to want to get closer to you. Okay. When someone has high expectations on the situation and their assumptions don't go as planned, it forms an internal violation of their expectations. So this is what I was talking about. It's kind of a negative reaction that happens in a normal day-to-day conversation. Expectancy happens due to the context of the behavior, the relationship between the people, and how the person their normal characteristics and how they speak to one another. Attraction aspects of this theory are simple. If there's more positive violations, that will increase the attraction of the violator. So violating is typically a negatively toned word, but in this situation it can have a positive or negative reaction. So if you would have a negative violation, that would decrease your attraction value to the person that you are interacting with. A real-life example would be a child approaching their parents with a confession that they've done something wrong. So say we are playing ball in the house, I broke a vase, I have to go tell mom about it now. My expectancy is that she's going to be angry and that's not going to go well. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm probably going to get grounded and scolded. That would be a negative violation. It would be a bad thing. It would harshen the situation between her and I. Whereas if I told her something was wrong and she says, hey, accidents happen, let's play ball outside, we'll clean this up later, that would be a positive violation, and that's not something that a child would typically expect, especially when they mess up pretty bad. So some of the key theorists really is going to be Judy Burgoyne, who's the founder of this theory. She's 71 and currently a professor of communication, family studies, human development, and the director of research at the University of Arizona. She has published over 240 articles and has 7 published books. She has founded this theory, and she's also contributed to 2 others, interpersonal adaptation theory and interpersonal deception theory. So she's pretty amazing. Some of the critiques to EVT is that it tries to predict and explain someone's reaction to an unexpected behavior of someone else. People do weird stuff all the time. It's really hard to tell and study how they're going to react to each different situation when there's so many moving factors. Expectancy means the way an individual anticipates what will happen in any type of situation. Violation means when that one anticipation is not what I really wanted to happen in this situation. The theory can be perceived as correct because in any given situation, a human, like myself, anticipates the reaction to the situation. When that response is not what is expected, that's when it's violated and we pass that automatic judgment. And then you start to see those situations occur differently. Another example would be in the workplace. Say my boss has a death in the family and I barely knew them, but they invited us. So if we were to go, typically I would give my boss a handshake. Well, if I go up to him and give him a hug, that is going to be a violation of his expectation. He is now going to view me differently. Maybe as a little bit warmer, more like a normal person, but it could go the other way. He's not expecting that, so that come off and it could harshen our relationship. With EBT, there are always going to be consequences, whether they're positive or negative, for violating someone's expected reaction of you. There could be good situations and bad, but always will elicit a change in some view. In any situation, we always need to be cautious of what's expected and how to change the expectation will alter the future of any relationship. That's my take on expectancy violation theory. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.